Glug, 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 glug. Hi friends, welcome to the Erin and Krista show. Hey friends, happy Vlogmas day 17? Is it day 17? It's either day 17 or day 18. I don't really know what's happening. I just dropped the child off to school. It's very cold. It is 24 degrees out. I'm gonna go home and I'm going to take a really hot shower because I'm freezing. And I'm finally feeling better-ish. I'm still a little congested, but it's literally been like 8 days. It never got really bad, but I just been like really congested and stuff for about 8 days. So that's not been fun. I made all my Christmas cookies. I'm done with that. If you've been watching our vlog, you know. I think today I'm gonna do a get ready with me. So if I do that, I will obviously show you me getting ready. It'll be a quick, like, everyday, like, natural, no makeup situation. So I'll show you the products that I use for that. All right, friends, see you later. That's a very unflattering. Oh, much better. The wife and I are about to take a gentle walk. There's also an airplane landing on our house, in case you were wondering. We're gonna die because we made some cookies for the after-school ladies, and we're gonna bring them hand-delivered because combined, we are Betty Crocker and MacGyver. All right, so I am back and I'm going to slap on some makeup and get ready. I just blew my nose 400 times to try to avoid sniffling throughout this entire situation. You're welcome. I'm not really going to talk about like what I'm doing. I'm just going to get ready and sort of chat with you guys about life and such, and you know, get ready with me. That's how they go. So this, in case you're wondering, this is the natural texture of my hair. This is my hair air dried with, I had popped in some of the Kenra Perfect Blowout Styling Cream. It's a hot mess. I actually don't mind it. If I had more hair, I think this would actually be kind of a good thing. I mean, it is a good thing because I have super fine hair, but it has like texture of a Muppet. Like, if Muppets needed perfect hair, they would just copy mine. So it's the length right now. It's like a little bit longer in the front, a little bit shorter in the back. Just because I get like a flat spot here, and so whenever you have a little bit of like a stacked situation in the back, and it's not actually, it's cut blunt. My hair just makes its own layers over time. Literally, I don't cut layers into my hair. They just kind of form. Like this, I suddenly have like a weird side bang. Yep. And you know, I use good shampoo. I use the Wella Bond Fusion conditioner or whatever the heck it's called. It's like a bond repair. So air dried, a little bit of the Kenra Perfect Blowout Styling Cream, which I love using on my clients as just something to kind of give the hair a little bit of grip and hold. And then the key to getting this puffiness is the Bedhead OB Hive dry shampoo. I actually pick my hair up and spray it all in the roots, and I even spray it underneath, so you can kind of go like this. Especially when I'm at work, I just go like this, and it kind of like poofs everything. And this is my natural hair color with some highlights, just a few highlights. I don't know if you guys remember the hot red hair. If I can figure out how to insert something with my hot red hair, like a picture or something, I'm working on it, guys. I'm trying to get better. I will put that in. That's when our channel first started. So you could actually just go watch our first video, and I have like hot red hair. I think it was February of 2015. I think that's when I had the hot red hair. But this is my natural color with just some highlights because I got some gray because I'm an old ass bitch. All right, let's get on with the makeup. I'm out of control. So I don't usually typically use a primer. Sometimes I will use a primer. I don't know why I'm explaining this. I said I wasn't gonna, but I'm gonna explain this part. And if I do use a primer, I do like the Primed and Poreless from Too Faced. That's if I'm doing like going somewhere, an event, or have a gig, or which I don't really have anymore. You know, something where I really want it to stay. Otherwise, I just use like a setting spray and it usually stays. But I don't know if this is technically a primer, but I got a sample of it, and it's called the Glow Formula Skin Hydrator. I think it's marketed as a moisturizer. It's from Kiehl's. but I've been using it kind of as a primer. I've already done my skincare and it's been like an hour, so I'm just going to pop this on before my foundation. Anyways, guys, it's the holiday season. It's the holiday season. So what are you guys doing? If you've been following along, you know I've been baking like a lunatic on fire. Do you guys bake for the holidays? Bake cookies is what I'm asking. Treats and such. Powder. I have to, today's Tuesday, I have to work all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, all day Friday, and all day Saturday. Thankfully I'm booked because, you know, I'm new in this town. I only started my job in May, so I'm glad that I'm booked the week of Christmas. It'll make me feel like I'm worth something. I am going to pop this on with a brush. Normally, I would do it with a beauty blender, but I don't feel like getting up to make it wet. Lazy. So I've got to work all week, so today is kind of like my last free day to get it together. I cleaned my house like a wild animal yesterday. And then today I have to do like my grocery shopping for, we are having a New Year's Eve, no, where am I? A Christmas Eve open house, because this is why. In my old life, and yes, I am watching myself in my phone put this on because I am blind, and otherwise I would have my mirror in front of my face the whole time. In my past life, I always had, that's what I call it now, Christmas Eve dinner for like 14 people usually. My family, my best friend and her wife, who used to be my ex-wife's like best friend, and then my old neighbors who were like our best friends, whatever, people. And so last year was the first time I hadn't done that in like years, like probably 7 years, 6 or 7 years. And so I was like, you know what? I want to do something. I love Christmas Eve. It's actually my favorite night of the year after Halloween. Obviously, Halloween is my favorite. I'm going to add a little more to this region of my face that hates me lately. I did 2 pumps. This is just what was left on my hand. So I love Christmas Eve. I just think it's a magical kind of a night. As far as like magic nights go, it's up there. So I want to do something. So we're having an open house basically from like 2 to 7. And we invited, like Kelly has a brother that lives in town. And he has a pile of children. And we have my stepdaughter. So we invited them over, but his wife is like very pregnant. So we're not sure because it could be go time at any time. So we invited them. And we invited my girls that I work with. And I know Christmas Eve, it's like, oh, people probably have plans. And that's okay. I just want to, you know, I kind of said in my invite, like, stop in for a drink, a treat, a snack, and then get the hell out. Like, go on about your day. I live in a small town, so people might not be going too far, you know, to like their other situations that they have. So today I'm like buying all the food type items for that, which I'm trying not to go crazy because I don't know how many people are actually going to come over. So I don't want to like buy enough food for 8,000 people and 2 people come by. So I kind of like, this is what I do. I'm a nutcase and I make lists, and I have to be organized 2 weeks in advance because otherwise I feel terrified. And so I've had my Christmas Eve menu list going for a while, and I've basically just been taking things off of it because I don't know how many people are coming by, so I'm not being a lunatic, but I'll tell you what I am gonna make. So I'm gonna make like a big charcuterie board because I feel like even if all that stuff doesn't get eaten, I can pop it back into our fridge and we'll be fine. And then I am making, these are like famous in my family, I'm making pizza balls. So they're really like Zeppoli without powdered sugar. And I think mostly Sicilians, but I'm not Sicilian. I am Italian. I think they are the ones that put maybe maybe all Italians put the anchovy in them and call them like, basically they're zeppoli with anchovy. When I was a kid, there was always a bowl with pepperoni and a bowl with anchovy. And the anchovy was for the old people Italians. And the pepperoni for the children's who were like, no thanks on the anchovies. Actually, I still think I'd be no thanks on the anchovies. So we just always called them pizza balls because we didn't know what they were called. So I'm making pizza balls. And so basically it's just like fried dough with pepperoni in the middle. I cut like stick, it has to be stick pepperoni. It has to be a thick piece of stick pepperoni. It can't be like floppy, weird stuff that you get out of a bag. Cut that, wrap the dough around it, and then you literally fry it. And you have to eat them when they're warm, and they're the best thing ever. And I don't care if I have to stand there I'm going to do them in increments and make them, because they're the best thing ever. And we only make them at Christmas, because that's when they're for. They're special. So charcuterie board, pizza balls, an olive tray because olives are delicious. I have all my cookies that I made. I'm doing like these cranberry barbecue meatballs because that's just easy. Throw them in the crock pot and then people can snack on them. Basically appetizers, like heavy appetizer situation. I would be doing a lot more, but I don't want to have all this food that gets wasted. And then I'm making, for the first time ever, my mom always made these when I was a kid, until we discovered that my sister had a deadly nut allergy. So we decided not to murder her every year. They're the chewy Noel bars, and my sister, they have chopped walnuts. My sister is like, I'm not kidding, like deathly allergic to walnuts and pecans. Like she'll die. So she won't be here. So my mom always made those. Now my sister is about 9 years younger than me, so I had a life before her. And so my mom always on Christmas made these chewy Noel bars, so I'm going to make them this year. I've never made them. And I hope they don't come out like poo. I literally probably haven't eaten one. What year was my sister born? She was born in 84. I probably haven't eaten one since 85. Because we discovered on her first birthday that she was allergic to walnuts because it was on a cake and it was not good. And she never outgrew it. She's 34 years old. Still allergic. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to be running around and doing my last bit of grocery shopping. I'm also doing laundry today because Christmas Day, after my stepdaughter gets picked up by her other parent, we're actually just going to head on up to Detroit so we can make it to my aunt's house for dinner. And then we're going to stay in Detroit for a couple days. I want to actually like spend time with some of my friends. Like every time I've gone to Detroit, it's for something. Like, and I don't have any free time to like hang out with friends. So I'm trying to coordinate with Krista a night that we can just like make dinner at her house and maybe play games and have some food, some wines, and then hopefully Krista and I could I would like to film a 2018 favorites with her. Another thing I'm thinking about filming with her, probably separately, is like a new Q&A. We did a Q&A on our channel a while ago. You can go ahead and look through our videos for that, unless I can figure out how to link it. I have been linking things at the end, so you can look there too at the end. But that was a long time ago, and obviously life has changed dramatically. Well, at least for me. Hers might not be that different. But I live in a new state, I have a new job, I have a new wife, I'm a parent now, like, jeez Louise. So I'm thinking about maybe putting up some after Christmas, like some Q&A type stuff. Like I'll have you guys maybe follow us on Instagram, The Erin and Krista Show, and maybe I'll put it up there and you guys can ask us some questions and we'll answer separately, but then I'll put it together. So I'm having like brow woes. I was really loving the Morphe pencil that I got, but it ran out and I haven't ordered it again. So now this is the Anastasia Brow Definer and I like it, but I don't love it. I don't know. I'm thinking about going back to like the OG, the Benefit Browsings or Brow whatever they have now. They've remarketed it since 1904. But that's all I used to use. And when I look at old pictures from like 10 years ago, I always really like my brows. So we'll see. I don't know. I sort of hate them. I also need to Botox my forehead, and that will help. This brow that I'm working on right now is like the brow that hates me. It's visibly lower, so it needs to be picked back up. Actually, this whole area, so much better when it gets picked up. I haven't done it since before I got married, so it's been a while. Well, maybe you want to see my dumb face. So yeah, so today is running around. Tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, working. And then Sunday, basically making sure all of our laundry is done. Well, I've had my presents wrapped for a while, so I'm good on that. Make sure our laundry is done and do all that. Maybe like I cleaned like the house like a crazy yesterday, but then I'll have to like touch up the bathrooms and wherever the dogs are, touch that up because their wet, muddy paws get everywhere and ruin my life. So when it's the holiday season, I tend to be reflective. And also the fact that I'm sick has been giving me PTSD from 2016. 2016, Christmas of 2016 is apparently why I'm divorced. It came up in therapy. It's come up after therapy from my ex. And again, disclaimer, I'm not slandering her. I'm just literally going to tell you what happened that week. She thinks when I talk about her in any capacity that I'm coming for her. I'm not. But you know what? My life happened. And sometimes the truth is hard to hear. So the week of 2016 Christmas, I will fully admit that I was a bitch. Because the salon that I used to work at was a very busy salon. I had a established clientele. I'd been there for 13 years. My week of Christmas was hands down the most insane week of my life. And combined with the fact that I always had gigs in December with my band. So I was insane, and I always get sick. As you can see, I've been sick for a week. So particularly that year, I got sick. I won't forget any of these events because, again, I told you I'm traumatized. And I am working on that. But sometimes it helps me just to get it out. And I know I've talked about it in my personal life 80,000 times, but it just helps me. And I am somebody who is a repeatosaurus. Krista said that, what did she call me? Basically that I'm a broken record. I repeat things until I'm resolved. Does anyone else do that? Is it beating a dead horse? Possibly. But it helps me process when I, go over things or, I just work it out. That's how I work it out. I talk about it. I'm someone who talks about things. So week of Christmas 2016, I start out the week on that Monday with bronchitis. I had to take myself, I worked all day because that's the other thing is and I've changed this in my life now. I wouldn't stop. I would just keep going until I break, basically. And I thought that was how you're supposed to be. That is, I don't know, commendable to put yourself through hell. But I realize now, I was not making myself happy by running ragged all the time, burning the candle at both ends, if you will. So that week, I'm sick. That Monday, I worked all day. I took myself to the ER, or the urgent care. I remember this. And by the time I left the urgent care, it was 9:30 at night, and I had to go to CVS to get my prescription, and they did something weird, and it was all screwed up, and I remember I had to wait there for 40 minutes, and I was literally dying because I had bronchitis, diagnosed with bronchitis. I have asthma, so I was waiting for my antibiotic and the steroid, prednisone, because I couldn't breathe. And I had probably worked a 10-hour day and then had to go do all that shit. So I got home and I was, who knows what I was acting like. I don't even know if I had the energy to be a bitch, but apparently I was a bitch that whole week. So then just plowing through, working and working and working, just kept going because that's what I did. I remember yelling at a coworker behind the shampoo bowl to the point where she told on me. I just remember being what is wrong with you? I was an asshole. Also, at that point in my life, I was beginning to think that maybe I wanted to move on from my job. I was becoming increasingly unhappy there. It was too busy for me. not myself, but like the environment was too busy. It was too much going on all the time. There were like 20 stylists like in a very small building, like crashing into each other all the time. You could barely like get behind the shampoo bowl. You're always like trying to move somebody out of the way. And some people might thrive in that kind of chaotic environment, but honestly, it was killing me because I hate it. I hate that kind of stuff. I hate chaos. Like, I've come to discover that I am a sensory avoider. Like, I don't like it. It makes me feel nuts. It makes me feel angry. It makes me feel anxious. And when I feel anxious, I am angry. I am mean. And I know that I have to control how I act, but that's how it comes out. That's how some people with anxiety, maybe they go inward and they like hide in a bubble. I'm like, I act out and I'm like a bitch. Everyone loves me. So I remember yelling at a coworker who I love dearly, and like, I must have been such an asshole that she like talked to one of her bosses about it, and I was like, okay, well, I'm a dick. Sorry, Denise. 2 years later. And I remember having a conversation very near that time. Might have been in the beginning of the month where I had like a terrible gig that nobody came to, and it was literally like a nightmare. And my bandmates and I, it was the trio, so my ex-wife wasn't in it. Like, it was so bad that she was like trying to get people to come to it, like, because she felt so bad for us. I just, as a combination of all these things, I was just worn out and hating everything. I remember asking her if in the new year, 2017, if I could work part-time until I figured out what I wanted to do, because I was unhappy and it was bleeding out into other parts of my life. I literally requested this. And she said yes. And she said yes, knowing full well she was going to leave, because she left me in February. So there's no way that, like, she didn't know she was going to do that. You don't decide a 9-year relationship / marriage is done in that amount of time. You just literally don't. You can be unhappy, but you don't make that decision. So come Christmas Eve, one of my favorite days, I'm still sick. I've worked my ass off. You know, I'm exhausted to the point of like, I probably didn't communicate it well enough. Like, I am exhausted. I am at the point of meltdown. That morning, I get up. I'm a doer. Like, where in the hell is my brush? I do all the things. Like, I'll wake up and I'm like, and I'm doing everything. And I just do it until I drop. That's just what I do. I've always been that way. So I get up and I start doing stuff. And I'm okay with the fact that, like, I do more, like, I'm a crazer. Like, I understand that, and I know that not everyone is like that. So I get up early and I start doing things. I'm making my spaghetti sauce. I'm making my meatballs. I remember this, like, because it's burned into my brain by tragedy. I'm, like, getting everything prepped. And that year, I also decided I was going to make creme brulee for the first time. I bought all these individual ramekins. Like, it was going to be a thing. I was going to make it beautiful and put it on everyone's place setting. And I had all these, like, hopes and dreams about my creme brulee. But I never made it, so I started getting stressed out thinking about it. And then, mind you, I'm making all these other things, right? So it's the morning time. My ex goes to her appointment, which she always has. Like, it must have been a Saturday. I honestly think Christmas Eve must have been a Saturday that year. And she goes to her appointment, which is for a massage and an adjustment at the chiropractor. So that takes about an hour and a half. I'm like, that's fine. I don't really care. I'm doing my things. When she gets back, I had one request. Please help me, number one, with the foyer, because the dogs would run around in there, and it was a beautiful entrance to that house. You've seen it in many of our videos. Had a beautiful fireplace. I was like, can you just re-mop the entryway? I say re-mop because we had a cleaning lady, and on that Wednesday, she'd just been there. So literally, she didn't really have to do anything except for that one task that I asked her to do. Yes, she did some shopping. Okay. But on that day, I asked for help with that and with the creme brulee. So I asked her that, and she said yes. She goes to her appointment. She comes back. I'm not bothering her about it. I'm not saying anything. I'm not pressuring her. She decides she's going to relax in the other room. That's fine. I didn't need the help yet. Then it's just like time keeps going, right? And I'm starting to just get pissed because I'm like, I don't want to ask her. I don't want to be your fucking mother. I don't want to ask you to do it again. I've already asked you. Like, why do I have to be your mother? Like, why do I have to be your parent? And like, you're not a child. So I'm getting pissed because I'm waiting for her to do it and she's not doing it, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna wait this out. I'm gonna see how far it gets along in the day before I have to say something, which I don't want to say something because we're grown-ass women. So finally, around 2:30, I lose my ever-loving shit on her. I mean, I don't even know what I said. And she would say that I was yelling, but I was probably just talking like this. Like, can you just help me? That's probably what I was doing because that's how I am. I get bitchy. And I just remember saying, like, I need you to help me. I need you to do what I asked. I need help with this creme brulee. I haven't taken a shower. People are coming at 5. And it was like 2 or 2:30. And my parents, if you tell them 5, they're there at 4:30. Or at least 4:45. Like, that's just how they're. And if my sister was with them, she would have been there 50 hours earlier than that because she's a crazer. And I know that. And I told her that. I was like, I don't want them coming in when the floor is wet. I remember saying that. So what happened? They came in while she was mopping the floor. Because she waited. And I don't know why. And I remember even having a conversation with her, like, because, you know, she lost her parents, and that is a hard time of year. The holidays are a hard time of year for people. And I remember asking her after, like the next day or something, like, if you don't want to do this, like, if it's too much to have this, like, dinner, just tell me. Tell me and we'll go out to dinner. I just, you know, like, I would have modified things had she spoken up and told me if it was too hard for her. And she told me no, that wasn't it. So I never really found out what, other than she just was being a jerk. I'm not really sure. But the thing that really pissed me off was her best friend, who was our neighbor and also was one of my very close friends who now hates me. I caught her bitching about me in the kitchen to him, like how I was yelling at her. And I just want to be like, do you not understand the role you play in things? Like, yeah, I'm pissed, but I kind of feel like I had a right to be. Could I have communicated better? Probably. I'm actually a pretty good communicator. Like, I don't not say how I feel. Maybe, okay, I will give you this. My delivery probably needed work, and I think that I have worked on that now, but I would have worked on it with her. It's no reason to freaking divorce me. But honestly, like, she brought it up. Like, that was the last straw for her. And I wanted to be like, should it have been the last straw for me? Like, you let your sick wife, who went to the urgent care 5 days before by herself, who had been on antibiotics and steroids, which also makes you an asshole if you've ever been on a steroid or prednisone. It gives you roid rage. There's no sympathy for me, ever. And, you know, like, yeah, I'm angry about it. I'm trying to move past it. But this time of year is giving me rickets. Like, I have Christmas Eve rickets. So I don't do anything last year. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that literally she cited that as a reason. Also, that I'm a Christmas tree Nazi. And yes, I'm very particular. Always have been. She didn't even have a Christmas tree up the first couple of years that I knew her. So apparently, my being very obsessed with my Christmas tree made her feel inferior or weird in some way, or like that I was in control of everything. So that was another reason why we're divorced. I can't make this shit up. So anyways, I have PTSD from Christmas Eve. So we're doing low-key. But, you know, my wife Kelly, she's would never have let me do all of that by myself. Because she's just different. You know, and it's amazing, if you're divorced out there, friends, what you learn about yourself when, you know, I had to learn, because I wasn't going to go through this again in my life, like, building a life with someone to have it fall apart. And you know what? I don't take it back. I would never change what happened, like, as far as my relationship, because I was happy, and that part sucks. And I talked about this in my video about why we stopped filming. And some of it, when I think about it, is, I don't even know where I was going with that. I would never change it. I guess it's just learning to find that person who's actually on the same page with you. We were never on the same page. Never. Not from day one. I feel like I had a better point than that, but that's all you get for now. By the way, I love this brush. It's the Morphe M527. So yeah, like my wife Kelly, we're a better match personality wise. And I was talking about this with her the other day. She and I, and this is not a fault of my exes or anything. This just, I should have, I guess, realized that I needed something different. My wife Kelly and I are very much like, we are the most important thing. Like her and I, like her friends are not more important or even as important. They're not even equal. You know, her and I, and that's how I am with my person. Like my person is the most important above anything else. For my ex-wife, that was not true. I was not the most important person. She was, which fine, you should be important to yourself. I probably could focus on being a little bit more, you know, like putting myself as a priority. But my person is my priority. And with Kelly, that's 100% the same way. You know, her friends, her hobbies, her other things are not more important than me. And that's all I needed. Talking about love language, I need quality time with my person. I need to feel like time with me is precious and it isn't the leftovers. I shouldn't be getting the leftovers once you've done all your other things. And I know my ex-wife thinks that she gave me everything. She did give me so much. World travel, I would have not done that without her. She bought me beautiful gifts. She bought me very beautiful, thoughtful gifts. You know, and she probably thinks she spoiled me. And she did in that way. But what she doesn't realize, what I was always asking for from day one of our relationship, was her time. And that was the one thing she would never give me freely. And so you can see, like, over time, and this is not solely her fault, I didn't realize that that was causing such a problem. You know, that I was always asking for time, and she felt like she gave me enough. It wasn't enough for me. And it's just because we were on different pages with that, and maybe if we had discussed it, things would have ended up differently. I don't know. But I can't tell you how important it is if you're getting into a new relationship to really focus on yourself and like think about what is it that you need to be happy. Because it's not going to be material things. I have nothing. I have no money. I mean, I literally have nothing. And I'm happy. I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm not stressed out at work. I work for myself. Basically, I'm an independent contractor now, and I work 3 days a week. I take care of my house, which I love to do. I decorate my house. Nobody's yelling at me for that. I'm happy. I had to really like simplify my life, and a lot of simplifying it was just saying no to things and not doing things anymore. You know, not running myself ragged to the point where I'm exhausted and I don't have anything left for the person I'm supposed to love because I'm just done. You know, that wasn't fair to my ex-wife to be that way, but I didn't know how to stop that. Like, I'd been doing that for so long that I didn't know how to stop it. Anyways, I'm trying to change things. I don't want to repeat patterns in my life. But I still want to do the things that make me happy, like have people over on Christmas Eve. And I still am doing most of the work because I work part-time. So I don't expect my wife to be doing as much as I am. She knows she has to clean up her mess in the back of the kitchen because she's been building a doorway. But other than that, like, I'm happy to do most of the stuff. And I did that in my past life. I did most of the prepping and decorating. But it went unappreciated. For whatever reasons. It was like actually made the other person feel weird. And I'm so happy that I can just be who I am. I wrote about this the other day on Facebook. Like, I'm so annoying. Because, like, I don't have the luxury to be anything but myself. And I am an anxious person in ways that I never knew. I didn't know it was anxiety until I went to therapy for a year. And Krista said that basically, like, I'm good at being a parent because I have high functioning anxiety, which means I'm organized. I make lists. I know shit that's going to happen a week out. Like this week at school, every day they have to wear something weird for Christmas. Like yesterday was a holiday dress. Today was dress like the Grinch and wear green, or dress like a Who. The Who thing wasn't going to happen. Mornings are a struggle in this house, so she wore green, you know. So I look at that paper every night, and I plan out what's going to happen. I didn't know I would be good at this. So sometimes, you know, self-discovery happens in the weirdest ways. I was just watching a video from Makeup Geek, and she was kind of talking about, like, how the last 2 years of her life personally were disasters, but that she's in such a better place now. And, you know, who would think that when you have the worst 2 years of your life, that you could come out and be like, even though those were the worst 2 years of my life, I'm so much happier now. You know, you never know. Something better. Alright, so I'm mascaraing my balls right now. Starting to feel the boogers coming back. Come on! Do I have hands that even work? Do you guys do that? Just like stab yourself? Well, that's attractive. I think I had eyeshadow on my finger. I hate myself. And we're fine. We're just going to the store. I'm going to Aldi because here's why. That was aggressive. I apologize. Get it together. Going to Aldi because I always shopped at Trader Joe's, because in Detroit there was one like right by my house. And they're owned by the same company. I just like the smaller, like, grocery store experience. I like at Kroger, I lose my mind. People are too close to me. Everywhere I go, every time I look at something, suddenly 14 other people also need to look at that same item out of nowhere. And it makes me want to kill everyone. I'll have Krista tell you the story about when I was trying to pick out a card one time at Target and I started calling everyone an asshole. I think maybe she may have already told this story, but like I freak out because I'm nuts. I'm literally insane. So I'm going to stop at Aldi because they actually have like a really good like meat and cheese selection for like making a charcuterie board. So yeah, I'm going to stop there. If I can't find pizza dough, because I don't know if I want to make my own, and I need pizza dough. I wasn't really anticipating making my own, because Trader Joe's always has pizza dough. So I'm hoping Aldi does too, but if not, I think I might have to hop into Meijer. Which, problem one is I always find something like a shirt to buy. And then also it's a giant store. But I might stop into Meijer, and here's the thing about stopping into Meijer is there's a Sally Beauty. And if you don't know what Sally Beauty is, it's a beauty supply store that the general public can shop in. Like, not like the ones for professionals where you have to have a license to go in. But the reason why I want to go in there is because watching Tati's video about the collab line at Sally's, and that they have these like eyeshadows. I think there's 6 shadows in each one, and she said they're really good. So now, you know, I gotta stop and see if she was telling the truth. Excuses to buy makeup. That brings me to another thing. In the new year, after the holidays, I am going to do a massive declutter of my stuff. I in no way have the amount of stuff that like other people have, like famous YouTubers have, but I'm just gonna tell you what this is. I love these. These are the Sexy Mother Pucker from Soap and Glory. I had bought like a minis a couple months ago. They're a gloss, but they also have a little plumping, but not too much like stinging. They just make your lips look really pretty. So I'm gonna declutter some stuff because there's no reason on earth that I should have some of the things I have anymore. First of all, they're old. Second of all, I don't even look at them. And I need to get rid of shit, right? I have 2 dressers in here, and one of them has 2 full drawers of makeup that I don't even wear. This is like socks and undies and bras and tank tops and things like that. And then I have a giant, let me see if I can turn without making a disaster. Don't look at my mess. Then I have this whole dresser over here that has a big pile of crap on it. That's got like other clothes, but there are 2 full drawers of makeup I don't even look at. Like the eyeshadow palettes and stuff that I use on the daily, they're on my vanity. You can look at one of my blogs where it says what's on my vanity, so I can show you that. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go through everything and just be like real and be like, I've moved 2 times since 2017. I moved out of my home into a shithole apartment. Then I moved from the shithole into Kelly's shithole. And then we moved into our house, which is beautiful. So in that process, I got rid of clothes because I've lost weight. Hopefully you can tell. Still got my gobbler. So I got rid of some clothes. I got rid of some shoes that I'm not ever going to wear. Cause band, like I would buy heels and stuff that I was just going to wear on stage. I'm not going to wear them. I kept the ones that I really love. And makeup that had not even been touched for a long time. So I was like, I haven't, but then now this is the stuff that I was like, I don't know. So I want to go through everything and I'll film it and show you guys the stuff that I'm just actually going to straight up toss because it's not donatable because I don't get sent things because nobody cares about us. And it's expired probably and or disgusting. So, or just garbage, it doesn't matter. So I will film that after the new year. All right, I am going to stop because we are at 39 minutes and I will see you guys at the end of the night. Boozy real talk, friends. I need some of this. This is a red wine and chocolate situation. It's better than I thought it would be. I think I'm going to go ahead and have some of this pre-dinner. I am currently cooking dinner. Pork chops that are going to go into the oven after I fry them a little. There's a child whining in the other room for God only knows why. We're going to make some couscous and some asparagus. Alright, so we just got done with dinner and I'm tired. I'm going to clean up and then we are going to watch something on TV. It's the little human's choice. So far she has suggested watching Charlie Brown and the Christmas edition of Nailed It. She watches hilarious reality shows. She also likes Skin Wars, which I'm not really sure we should be letting her watch, but we do anyways. All right, well, I'm going to go and try to get this up pretty soon, and hopefully you hear from Krista tomorrow. Bye, friends.